All right, talking midgets and the race car kind tonight, and everything soup related, and in particular chili of kind, but involves no meat, no beans of any kind. So we're going to get right into it. Let's do it. Yes, it is that time again, ladies and gentlemen, for the Throwin Sliders podcast, the number one racing podcast in the state of Colorado. Thank you all for making that possible, and obviously we're biased. We haven't done this in a couple months, but we're going to shake off the rust here tonight. I'm your host, Brandon Hall, accompanied my left, your right, Mr. Blair Cooper. And how the hell are you, buddy?
Oh, man, it's good to be back. It's weird. I was a little nervous, actually. So.
Yeah. No, right when you hear that intro and it says live at the top of our screen, all the butterflies go away, and it's just two old friends talking racing again. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so we're back at it. Got some people on the live show, so we appreciate you guys. Like we said in the lead up post, we see Warren Rhodes in there. Appreciate you jumping on, but please, as always, be interactive with us tonight. This is just kind of a one-off episode, and we're looking for fan engagement and to talk everything Chili Bowl related and really anything else that comes to mind. So feel free to drop us a line. We'll try to shout you out and have a good conversation with you there in the chat. For those of you that are not with us live, that's your own fault. You should get with the program and come live with us. So yeah, with that, we haven't done an episode, I think, since September, October, right in there. So enjoyed the break. I know Blair more so than I. I've just been being a dad and overworked and underpaid at my job. So that's really all I've been doing. But tell the folks what you've been doing, Blair.
It's really just been trying to work and start preparing. I've got the car completely stripped down. It's still a bare frame. Haven't got the engine back yet, but, cleaning parts, tearing bearings apart, organizing, all the off-season stuff. I've been starting to do that every Saturday, and just little odds and ends here, and starting to put lists together to order everything we may be short on or need more spares. So that seems like it's never ending. It's funny. It feels like it's been forever since we've raced. And I thought, it's going to be here before you know it. It's like, there's no in between. It's like, it's gone and it's here.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. And Blair and I have obviously kept in communication, maybe not as much as I would like. Just I'll take the blame for that. Cause talked to my boss about that, but order a new driver, Barry says. Hey, speaking of Barry, I don't want to strip on live stream here, but got your shirt on there, pal. So it's good stuff. Appreciate that.
I thought that would have been a shop rag by now.
No, all my racing shirts are pristine, and I'm just a guy that gets to talk about racing now, so I don't get unless you wreck, and then I got to get dirty and all that. So
yeah,
my room closed. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Obviously, Chili Bowl. We do as we did last year and a couple times throughout the last couple years. Thank you, Barry. That's why you're my favorite too. But Blair and I are gonna pick our drivers, plural. We're gonna pick 3 drivers that we think are maybe gonna win, but just have a higher finish, and we'll explain all that when we get to the picks. I might go colorblind because this wheel of names, this random wheel generator is just circling on my other screen over here. I maybe should close that window. There we go. So I don't go colorblind by the end of this. But yeah, so we're going to do that. Blair actually came up with a good idea to pick some other kind of fun topics, which would be engine manufacturer for tomorrow's A feature. And what else did we talk about? Oh, teams. So there's obviously predominant teams that have multiple entries. So we're going to try to pick who we think is going to bring home the 40th annual Chili Bowl Nationals, I think, this year. So
I'm not sure.
Yeah. And then we're going to, I guess, get into some slang explained with Blair, talk about track prep, all that good stuff. And then I think we're going to help BST kind of promote what they just announced this week for September. So let's get right into it. Yeah, as you guys know, I guess halfway through last year, Mountain Ops came on to help support this podcast, and Blair and I, for all intents and purposes, they're back again for 2026. Obviously, we haven't started the full podcasting season, but we're glad to have them on board. We've been using the hell out of it. Blair's got an 8-pack now by using all their supplements. So we
Getting fatter, actually. They're going to drop me.
right, yeah.
Put on 10 pounds immediately.
We got to get measured in order to have a sponsorship by them. But no, we appreciate them. And yeah, we got some others that we kind of touched on late last season coming on board this year, which will obviously make an official announcement. And I believe Blair's going to give one of them a shout out at some point in the show. But without further ado, you guys know what to do. MountainOps.com. Use the promo code TS Podcast, easy spelling, for 20% every single time you're on there. And that's a thanks to you guys for making this show go around. So with that, we'll play the ad, and then Blair and I are going to discuss just everything Chili Bowl kind of related, what we've seen, what we've heard, some things to watch for tomorrow night. And even tonight, we got some local Colorado drivers that we'll highlight throughout the show, and get right into it. So let's do it.
Whether you're chasing checkered flags, chasing elk in the mountains, casting a line, or crushing early morning workouts in the gym, there's one name every high performer should know: Mountain Ops. This team fuels athletes, hunters, racers, and weekend warriors with the cleanest, hardest-hitting supplements on the market. Let's be honest, this sport isn't for the soft. Late nights in the garage, long drives to the track, and hot evenings in the pits and in the car. We are built different. That's why we run on Mountain Ops. Their supplements hit hard, feel clean, and don't have all that junk you can't pronounce. From early mornings to late nights on race day, this is the stuff that keeps the crew moving and ready for the next lap. Want in? Head to mtnops.com, enter code TS Podcast at checkout, and get 20% off your order. That's right, enter code TSPODCAST at checkout for 20% off your order. You don't just want to show up, you want to win. Fuel like you mean it. Winners use Mountain Ops. Proud supporting partner of the Throwin Sliders podcast.
Good stuff. Yes, support those who support us. We appreciate that. Yes, good to see you, Mark Bremkamp. Haven't talked to you or any of the racing crowd in a long time, so it's kind of good to see everybody's faces, everybody's names, and get right into it. So I'll shut up now. And Blair made a good comment in the pre-show as we were kind of talking about what to go through tonight. So talk through. I know we had podcast alum Blake Hahn earlier. Shout out to him winning his prelim night on Wednesday. And we talked through his grandfather Emmett, obviously with the dirt preparation for this week and obviously tomorrow night in particular. So rundown, or give us the rundown rather of what you heard, what you saw about track prep this week.
Yeah, I've actually been trying to watch. I don't have Flow still, you know that, I'm too cheap, but I have been catching them all right after the races are over, and it's kind of an interesting year. So it seems like that the track has been a lot of bottom feeding, and they've got a lot of moisture in it, but for some reason it's just not holding as much grip. And when they do form a cushion, it basically becomes either a soft cushion, and guys, obviously, like we saw earlier tonight, guys biking cars or getting up in it and getting over on the right rear, putting the front wheels up, but or it makes a gnarly curb where they just slam right off it. But really kind of an odd mix so far, and it's kind of funny too. We'll get into that a little bit, but yeah, just the way the cars have driven off, and then you see guys getting into the front stretch wall, and not that we don't always have a lot of crashes and flips, but it seems like that's been a little bit. It's been a little bit different mix this year, and it seems so wet. And they've talked about like the temperature, ambient temperature, and even though they're inside, it still affects the racing surface. So it looks like it's really gripped up. In fact, I'd even commented to Tara, I'm like, man, this thing just looks like it's super fast and heavy, but a lot of guys are not able to run the two grooves. You see a lot of guys running basically left front over the berm, and
just Christopher Bell, that's all he did last night was just bottom.
Yeah, and you'll see guys try to throw the slider line, and they come up and they hit that cushion, and it's either too soft, or even guys having to go 4 above it, trying to run up there. So I think it's been a little different, and maybe it's just kind of my lack of, watching consistently over the years. But it does seem like it's a little bit different surface this year, and they're trying to rectify it, trying to get a top. We know they can manipulate that thing, pretty easily, but it's just been a little different. I
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah, no, and I made the comment to Blair in the pre-show that, in several years now, I won't say like I've watched the Chili Bowl since its inception, or for I'm going on 33 years, but um, I will say that Emmett and crew, obviously, I have no idea what it's like to run one of these shows or be a track prep guru or running the tractor or whatever. But I will say that from a fan's point of view, when they do try throughout the week, and obviously they come in with a game plan of, hey, here's what the dirt we're going to use, obviously, as we spoke to Blake earlier in last season's podcasting season. They use a special type of dirt from a certain place and yada yada yada, so they have a plan going in. But then when they start to see what's kind of unfolding, like this year and many years other, where there's only one lane, right, you don't want to have that as a racing product, so you try to change things. But my main point here, that was a long-winded answer of saying, but after, we'll call it the D main tomorrow night, excuse me, in the alphabet soup, that's when you kind of start to see the Emmett Hans and those folks. All right, this is our last chance. Like, we have to do something now in order to make the product for the B and the A the best it can be. And what I was telling Blair is the only unfortunate, well, not the only unfortunate, but one of the main unfortunate parts of that is they will just completely stop the show. And it could take an hour, it could take 2 hours. I think last year and the year before, it was getting to the point where I was like, it's like 9-10 p.m. and we haven't even started the A feature, and they're still doing track prep. And you can only watch Flo in their camera in the Coliseum, watching everything for so long before you start getting kind of sidetracked. And you're like, man, like, I want to watch racing. I don't want to watch this or that or these guys talk for 2 hours. So that's where it becomes problematic, is when they just try to do a wholesale change and they're like, tear the whole thing up, we're going to redo this. And then sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And you're like, damn, that was a shitty A feature, and we just sat through 2 hours of programming for what? So a lot to say there. But yeah, it's again, I don't envy these guys that put on shows like this, because they want it to be perfect. They want to put on a good show for the drivers and fans. A lot of people spend a lot of money and time to come do this, and they want to get it right. But it's a hard game for sure.
Well, and I mean, you have so many variables, especially when you go to like A feature time, because I mean, obviously you do have it indoor. So it's like you could make the track hammer down and plow your own curb at the top or cushion up there. And then the guys are just lightning fast for 35, 40 laps. And maybe you get that parade. I mean, so I'm sure that's in their head. It's like, well, we don't want it one line on the top or something like that. But at the same time, you don't want to get it dried out and dusty by lap 17. And then it's, it's just an absolute, because I don't know if you noticed that too on some of the recaps that I watched last night, when those guys were pinned to the bottom, even though the track looked like it had a lot of moisture in it, it was still pretty dusty by the end of the A's. Just laps. And I think that's because guys just hammering a couple lines, same spot in entry. They're all trying to get the car arced in there. And instead of widening that thing out, I mean, like you said, I mean, how hard would that, to try to calculate for all that and ambient temperature and humidity. I mean, when the sun's on it, you can dry it out pretty quick, but when you have those conditions, like if you get it too wet, you can have a real mess. So it's got to be a fine line. It's like, there's going to be hard to bring this back.
Yeah. I don't have an answer. I'm just a podcaster.
Sure. No, me neither. It just does.
I don't know what
you're a little different, doesn't it? Does it seem like it's been a little bit different this year?
I mean, admittedly, and I was going to bring this up at some point in the show tonight, that I, other than what Blair and I did, and I'll answer Torrin and Mark's question in just a second, the only live footage, because unlike Blair, I do spend things on other than Starbucks, so I do have a Flow Racing.
I don't go. I bought my own coffee machine. I told you.
Damn, look at you! New year, new him.
Everything out. If I told you how much money I lived on last year outside of racing, you would laugh. It was absolutely. My wife was like, "Holy moly, that's dismal."
Dude,
quality of life is not high.
I'm getting bougie in my old age, man. Like, I could share a story, but it doesn't matter. This is a racing podcast, so. What I was trying to say is, I admittedly, in the pre-show, that was the only live footage of this year's Chili Bowl that I have watched. Blair, other than having the subscription, this week has gotten away from me. And by the time it's 8 o'clock, the baby's down. I'm like, man, sleep is more important than, watching a pre-link. I will watch tomorrow. And go through all that tomorrow. I don't know when I'll turn it on or what main it'll be, but I will certainly watch at least probably the D through A. But to your point, Blair, in watching the highlights on, on social with Flow Racing, it's hard to see, like, because you see a 5-minute clip of, the A feature, the prelim. That's really what they show, other than the amazing heat race with Bradley Cox and T-Mez the other night. But I will say it's certainly not dusty from what I see. It's mainly a bottom lane track, as I've seen it all week. I haven't seen any other than like, a Larson or a Day, and those guys are just wild, and they'll ride an inch off the wall and they don't care. But as far as like actually having a groove and making a power move up there, I haven't seen that yet. No. And to answer Tauren and Mark's question there, are we watching it live? No, we are not. We were pre-show. We can get in a lot of trouble if we're streaming Flow on our channel while we're podcasting. So no, we do not have it
going through my headphones too, and then we couldn't hear anything, and it was a mess. We were actually going to try to leave like maybe in the corner, and just wasn't working. So we're just going to have to go in blind for this next 45 minutes or whatever, and we'll go back and watch recaps.
Yeah. So we are not watching it right now because I struggle. Like I said, I have a wheel spinning over here on my left, Blair over here, comments to my right. And if I had racing going on, it wouldn't be much of a podcast because I probably wouldn't be doing much talking. So oh, there you go. Tauren says Blake Hahn. Yes, I did see that. Blake was another one that did run the top.
That's true.
He kind of almost let it go at the end. That was close, coming out of 4 there. So, but yeah, that's a great segue. Blair and I were talking about obviously all the Colorado drivers that we could find. So the entry list at the beginning of the week obviously has since changed due to drivers dropping out. Buddy Kofoid is a great example. Undisclosed injury or illness, whatever he's got going on. Hopefully he gets back up to speed quickly. Mark. 2 things there, Mark. We don't want to get in trouble for streaming Flow's product. And like I said, Blair and I would both get distracted and not give you a good podcast episode if we were watching.
I got enough going on in my head. I can't listen.
I
have a hard time doing this.
Yeah, there's enough buttons to click while we're doing this. So anyway, we wanted to shout out TJ Stark, which unfortunately it sounds like he just had some issues per Mark. We got Austin Gossel running tonight. Adam Trimble, his prelim was on Tuesday. Did pretty well, made it to the A feature on prelim night. Looks like he'll be in the E main tomorrow. And then we had Sean Cleveland. I'm not sure. It does state he's from Falcon down there by El Paso, I believe. His prelim was Wednesday. I don't know exactly what happened. It said he only made it to 7th place in his heat. So I don't know if he advanced up through the D, C, B, A, etc. So shout out to him for being there. And then I'm going to butcher this. Is it Keith Roush or is that how you pronounce it?
I believe so. Yeah. That's how I've always heard it.
Yeah. So he did decent on Monday, was his prelim night, 5th in the B feature. So he'll go through the soup. Unfortunately, with all the prelim nights and everything, it's hard to find where these guys are going to start tomorrow. But I would imagine if he only made it to the B feature, he's going to be in the G-ish range tomorrow. We could do the math, but math is very hard for Blair and I on the format.
So when you add letters.
Yes. Algebra is not my strong suit. So I don't give a damn how to find X. Just, I can. But anyways, and then we got Chris Hartman, another Colorado native from Boulder. His prelim was yesterday, and he finished 5th in the D. So he'll be deep in the soup tomorrow if nothing's broken and everything. And then obviously Bradley Cox was the other one, and he did really well. Obviously, that hell of a finish with T-Mez in his heat race. They called it a tie, but I did look on the results, and they did score Bradley ahead of T-Mez. I'm not sure, maybe passing points. I don't know. But yeah, he starts. So he finished 12th in his A feature, so he'll be probably similar to Trimble, maybe the E. Yeah.
He won his B main. He won the B, and then started 17th in the A, and
finished 12th.
But anyway, yeah,
and they only take the top 2 in the A feature on prelim night. Yep. So I'd imagine he'd probably be deep in the D, if not in front on the E. But right. Good, hell of a starting, whatever you want to call that, position in the mains or the features on Saturday for some of these guys. And I mean, Gossel obviously will have to get some updates from the comment section here. I don't know if he's run or not. It's kind of early-ish, but I would look for some of these guys. Obviously, we know Trimble's had a lot of success in midgets locally and regionally around here, and obviously Bradley Cox is got a piece underneath him. So.
Well, and that's like Trimble. It wasn't even first lap I saw because he made the A feature, and I think he started 17th as well. And they went in there and I think they got 4 laps in, and then they wadded it up, and it must have bent something in the front end or whatever, just enough to take them out. I've seen a lot of drag links and stuff like that this week, and Pitman arms, and it's like, man, once they can't steer it, they're imposed. It didn't look like it was too banged up. In other words, just something. It had to be something small or a broken shock or. So those shock guys are SBS and FK and CSI boy. I bet they just lick their lips when this week starts. It's just
just money.
Must have a money printing machine back there.
Just here's my money. Here's my line of credit. Here's my social security number. I need all the shocks. Yes, Mark, we did just ask about Gosso. If you could update us on if he's run. I'd imagine it's probably still getting through the heat.
They're an hour ahead too.
Oh, right. Yes, I forgot about that. Yeah. So they're probably into the features. Yeah. Well on their way. So anyways, nevertheless, no matter how these guys did throughout the week or how they do tomorrow, super cool to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Colorado natives in the show, at least participating, giving it their effort. So kudos to you guys. Gossel did not make it to the A-main. All right. So we'll watch Gossel go through the soup tomorrow, and if you know Austin Gossel like we do, he will give it everything he's got to keep climbing. So, that's a bummer, but we'll be rooting for everybody and see what they can do through the soup tomorrow.
You know what's funny? I don't know if you remember this. Somewhere there's a clip where when we first started doing this together, I kind of talked a lot of shit about the Chili Bowl because me and super short, tight racetracks.
Yeah.
And but now it has grown on me. I will say.
Yeah, it's an interesting deal. And like I said, if you're not a race fan or fully committed, like it's hard to watch this all week long and then, watch it all day Saturday. You basically got to block out your Saturday to be truly committed to this. And it is a lot. And, I've said on podcasts, like you just said, Blair, many times in the past, I think two, maybe 3 years ago, every night, this is obviously pre-child, but every night we turned it on and watched everything. And by Saturday, my wife's like, wait, they still got to do all this shit again on Saturday. And I was like, yeah, this is just the icing on the cake today. She's like, I'm out. Like, this is too much. So anyway, but
Tara's like, I was fast forwarding on YouTube through when they go up the ramp and do all the interviews and stuff, because it's all been on YouTube. So I watch all that, they have full deals. And so I'll fast forward and she's like, stop. I'm like, Jesus. So she's all in when I do come home. We have to watch it later at night because I don't get home early enough. And she just posted okay. So
I see that. Yeah.
The soup. Holy shit. It is complicated. I still don't understand it. It's just like, do well.
Yeah. It's really how you do during the week is pertinent to everything else. If you can dodge the soup, then you're in a good position. But yeah, it's
easier.
If you look it up on Flow, they explain it similar to what Tara has here. But if you want to,
I think I've
do all the math.
I think I've heard it about 9 or 10 times. It's kind of like me tying knots. I just they'll show me a knot, and I'm like, God, dude, I hope I don't ever have to save somebody because they're going to fall right off the rope.
Right. I will say, speaking of knots, we're getting a little sidetracked, but that's okay because that's what we do all the time. Since I've gotten so heavy into fly fishing, I was in Cub Scouts, but I fucked off the entire time, and I couldn't tell you anything except how to build a Pinewood Derby cart because I was racing. I was like, oh, I can be good at this. But as far as knots, had no idea. But now that I've got into fly fishing, dude, it's so easy. And I'm like, where was this 30 years ago when I actually needed it? Now it's just a hobby, and I finally know how to tie a knot. Anyways.
No, I can barely tie my shoes. So
yeah, there you go. Hey, Blaine's on. Of course, we're talking about midgets, so he's got to be here. Shout out, Blaine. Hope you're doing well. All right. What else do we want to talk about? Anything else before we make our picks?
Yeah. No, if you want to make picks now, we can. If you want,
whatever's clever, brother.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. All right.
And then if you are in the comments, you can post your picks along here too. And then I guess we'll just do bragging rights this year.
Yeah, Blair almost died with the shaving cream, so we won't do that again.
You burned me.
Yeah, he almost got chemical burns on his face, so we don't want to do that. I didn't even think about that when you're sitting there on the live episode just shaving cream, and I was like, "Yeah, that your face starts turning red." I'm like, "Yeah, that doesn't look fun." All right, so if you followed Throwin Sliders podcast or Blair and I over the past couple of years, first off, thank you. Second off, we do this from time to time, these big dirt races or events. So what we'll do is Blair and I both will pick 3 drivers, kind of round robin, not all at once. We'll take turns. And basically how we'll win is the average finish of those 3 drivers in the A feature tomorrow night. Everything else leading up to that does not matter. And there's a chance that some of these drivers that we may or may not pick aren't even locked in to the show. So that's what kind of adds some suspense here. I know I have a list of about 7 or 8 drivers that have not locked their way in, so could get interesting. But anyways, so in years past, I've been nice to Blair and let him choose first. But this year, since he started to catch on to my antics and my favorite drivers, we're gonna let a random wheel generator determine who starts first. So I have on my screen here, if I could share it. We have a random wheel generator full of numbers 1 through 10, and I'm going to give Blair the honor to pick his number first, and then I'll go second, and whatever this dial lands on or closest to, that person will pick first. So, Blair, your number?
Give me a 3.
Why would you do that? That's my number, and that's exactly what I was going to choose.
That's Jesus.
Okay, you got 3. Give me what's kind of in between there? Give me 6. All right, here we go. 3 for Blair, 6 for Brandon. Who's it going to be? Not looking good for me. Yikes!
Oh, I nailed it,
dude. You are. There you go. All right, who's your pick, pal? First one on deck. Here we go.
You know what I always do too is I usually do end up getting to pick first, and then I pick somebody who everybody's like, "Who the hell is that?" So,
the what you call it, rocket.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a tried and true here. I think
Robert Bell. Here we go. Sign him up.
The Colfax Comet.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna go with Bell, his own team. Okay, he's been looking really good. So and that rivalry. So I know who your number 1 is.
Well, damn, you left the door wide open. I did not have Bell on mine just because I figured, number 1, you were going to choose him. And number 2, I don't like Bell too much from NASCAR antics. God dang it. Now you forced me in a trap. I did not see that coming. Oh, shoot. Well, I guess low-hanging fruit. I'm going to get made fun of, but how do you pick against Mr. Kyle Larson? So that would be my pick number 1.
Okay.
All right. I need a drink. You're up next.
All right. I'm going to go with the kid. And you know what? I'd never even heard his name until last year, and I watched all his videos. He's become one of my favorite wingless sprint car drivers. Is Briggs Danner. Had a good run at the shootout. I think it was his first shootout ever. Just really like the way the kids drive. And I think he's hungry for it. And he also had a really good looking car. So I think it's possible if they get it dialed in, he's definitely going to send it. So. Okay.
I like that. Shoot, man, you threw me for a loop because I thought, man, this is a strategy game. Good thing there's no time limit. How's the weather outside? Shit.
Yeah, nothing like dead air.
Yeah. Dason Pursley.
Okay.
Finished second, and so he will advance. So will Larson. Everybody we've picked except for your second pick has been locked in. So, all right, last pick, pal.
Oh shoot! You know me. This is going to be another wild one that probably is not on anybody's radar. But if he does it, they're going to go, "Damn, he's a genius." Also, one of my favorite wingless guys, and it's KTJ. So Kevin Thomas Jr.
Dude, I would have bet money that if I had to see your list before my fancy dancy list here, that we would have had the same drivers. But clearly, we're in the different universe. So,
well, you know me, I have to. I have to go Wild West.
I appreciate that. And so because you went Wild West, this isn't. You're going to hear this name and you're going to be like, "Oh, here he goes." But if you look where this driver finished on Wednesday, you're going to be like, "Oh, it's kind of a wild shot." So, as Blair knows, my favorite up-and-coming sprint car driver is Mr. Corey Day. He finished 6th in a feature on Wednesday, so he's got a little work to do, probably through the B main. But when I watched him, the highlights again for transparency, that thing, not only does it look badass, which matters to me, but it looked pretty dialed in. And when I talked to him, geez Louise, yeah, I just got his phone number. We talk all the time. When I heard his interview with what's his name from Flow, they tried something in the Race of Champions on Monday, just kind of throwing something at the wall to see if it would stick. And I appreciate that, right? Because you have your baseline set up and you know what's probably going to do well, but they're like, hey, this race doesn't really mean anything, so let me try something, and it completely didn't work. So now I think they know, and I'm sure he's not the only one that did that, but I appreciated the insight that he gave on that. So 3rd pick, Mr. Corey Day. So let me write down just for.
There's Warren Rhodes put Day on his list in there. My wife, she had Corey Day. He did look good. He's another one of those guys. He's going to send it every time. He's going balls to the wall.
Well, and Blair and I were talking pre-show specifically about Larson. And yes, it's low-hanging fruit. But as we've seen, especially in the Chili Bowl, Larson just does not care. And, he will wreck it. He'll flip it. He don't care to get the lead and stay in the lead. Like, he wants to lead every single lap. And sometimes that's problematic when you're picking him to win something. Good thing there's no money involved. But yeah, and Day's similar, like Blair just said, like he will, and that's why you appreciate them as a race fan, because they will give it everything they got. Even if they're in 10th place and there's 3 laps, they're going to try everything they can to get as far up as they can. So I got, and you had Bell. KTJ was your third. Who was your second pick?
Briggs Danner.
There you go.
Yeah,
all
he's
right.
Another one. I don't know, that kid. He wheels. I watch all his in-car clips. So if you guys haven't checked him out, go on YouTube and look up like Briggs Danner goes to war at Kokomo. That was probably my race of the year, wingless USAC race. And that place also is one that's just on my bucket list. Kokomo is so sick.
Yeah.
Winged or wingless. So good.
I enjoy that one when I used to get on iRacing with the boys. Haven't done that since Nom. All right, I'm just scrolling through the comments to see what other people, if they think we're absolutely ridiculous. All right, Timez. Okay, Brimkamp.
Yeah. That's a good one. He's got the Ford too. Like, I think Engler's one of those, and they've actually looked pretty good, except they've torn up some cars, but he's definitely kind of the top dog in that corral still. But Timez is never count him out. He won the one the week before, the indoor. So good to see Fords in there too.
Emerson Axum was on my list. So
me too.
Good on you, Sammy.
And then I didn't pick him, and I also Blake Hahn too.
Yeah, I shout out to him, alumni. I did not see that coming. I compared to others on their prelim night, like I said earlier, like he almost gave it away, which could have just been an error. But I'm super pumped for him. With the name, his grandfather, and that being kind of their deal. And I hope he does well. I don't know if he's got the equipment underneath him to compete with some of these guys that we've listed. So I think we're get back on iRacing, Brandon. I intend to, Torrin. I tend to do some throwing slider stuff this year, but between work and, as you know, having a 18-month-old, it's I get about 2 hours to myself every night. So Michelle Brace Marine, hi from the Chili Bowl. Got a live viewer.
Nice.
That's cool. Yeah, very cool. So I think looking at the comments, we didn't do too bad, Blair. It sounds like we know what we're talking about anyway. So
well, I just take random
Spencer Basin. How did I forget that name from last year? Jeez.
You know what? He looked pretty good the other night, though.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't. Yeah.
He looked good, or his driving looked good?
Wow, both. Actually, if we had to pause on the close-up and pit road,
yeah, there
just
you
so
go.
Tara could take a peek.
Yeah, Tara don't give a shit about his driving, but anyway, you have a 20-month-old. Okay, so we got the All right, getting ready for the A feature.
What is maybe in the
go ahead.
comments real quick? I'm sorry to cut you off. Is if
No.
anybody even thinks it's possible? So we've got Ford. I mean, you're starting to see, like we talked about this in the pre-show a little bit. K24
That's exactly
Hondas.
what I was just going to talk about. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So maybe what everybody thinks. I mean, is Toyota at some point? I have to think somebody's going to have something for the Toyotas. We see it's generally Toyotas or Stantons. So you've got the TRD, the SR11Xs. I've started to see a few more K24 Hondas coming in. I don't think I've seen anybody super competitive with it. You're still got some of the S-Slinger BBSs. So like there's a bunch of different models of S-Slinger out there. There was even a guy who, he ran through the field, I think, with an old Fontana, which that's not going to be favorable by the time you come to, anything past the soup. But I thought it was pretty awesome to see an old 180 horsepower Fontana get through. And I think he finished second maybe or third, but and then other manufacturers. But do you think there's anybody that has anything besides those two manufacturers? It does look promising with the Stealth. I guess we'll know after this year. It's still such a new platform. Obviously T-Mez. No, I think it's a Ford platform. I mean, it's Engler, so it looks like it's all billet custom stuff, but I imagine, and I think I heard that it's a Ford platform kind of styling. So
and Blair and I did some research here. So of the major teams, we got 10 Keith Kunz Motorsports entries, 5 Chad Boat, and 5 Swindell Speed Lab, 2 of which are certainly running TRDs, all 15 of those. Couldn't confirm what Swindell Speed Labs is running, probably the top 2 engine brands.
I think it's TRD, yeah.
So, I think to like Mark's comment there, I think what's the word I'm looking for? I don't even know. I'm having a brain fart. But what's that?
Oh, he was talking about the old Cosworth engines.
Oh, I thought you were trying to find a word for me. I was like, what did you say?
Oh, no, shit. I don't know what goes on in your head.
You don't want to know. Diversion, inclusion, that kind of thing, where it's not just the same manufacturer winning week in, week out. So I do like that. I think the answer to the question is, I mean, what do we got? I don't know what day's running, to be honest with you.
Toyota. It'll be in a TRD. Yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah,
it's almost hard to beat. I mean, just because you have so many of the top guys running them, but it would be nice to see more of like a lesser manufacturer. I mean, lesser. They're all making 100%. Good horsepower, but it is odd. It just seems like that dominance. I would like to see them come. Some more mix in the field at least.
Yeah, no, I agree. I would like to see, if I could think of the word. Whoever can think of the word and put it in the chat, what I'm trying to say, I'll give you a shout out and put your name on the screen because I am lost for words. Anyways, I don't think any other engine manufacturer is going to be able to win the Chili Bowl outside of TRD. So
yeah, unless it's a Stanton. I think those are the only 2 that have been super competitive because there's been a few.
But if you look at just what we named, say there's 20 TRDs that have top guys in that equipment, you're going to have to beat 20, even we go even less, 15 of the top midget racers in the country with TRDs to even have a chance, and pray that they have some misfortune. And so I wasn't, again, not good at math, but I will say statistics my senior year in high school, I did go to high school, was my favorite class. And if I could remember how to do that equation, the odds are probably not very good for anything other than TRD. So anyway,
I agree.
But yes, I agree. If I could think of the word, and I'm going to think of it right after we end the show, and then I'll be like, that's the word I was looking for. But all right, Flagman saying, here we go, green flag. So best of luck to the A feature drivers.
Nice.
So yeah, that was fun. We'll definitely be tuned in. So again, you got Team Blair, Team Brandon here, Larson, Pursley, Day, or Bills. They play tomorrow. Bell, Danner, and Kevin Thomas Jr. for our selection. So highest average finish of the combined drivers tomorrow will get bragging rights until the next episode, I suppose. So there you go.
Yeah. Is there bonus points for if your driver wins? Maybe an extra bonus point?
I'm not opposed.
Just make this shit up as we go.
Yeah, we always do every episode. I think, because I'm pretty sure, was it Knoxville 2 years ago? I think that was the first time we did this. And that, I believe, was the time I think I had picked Larson, and he led every lap. boring, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So I should get a bonus point just to start with because
Yeah. Well,
anyway.
and you know
But
what?
yeah,
That was
but-
kind of on that topic before we quit here is we talked a little bit about you're starting to see a split with drivers though, even though it's all Toyota shit. Like the Keith Coons and then the Chad Boat. Like a few years ago, there wasn't a whole lot of guys. That wasn't the big name. And then you saw, I believe, Larson switched maybe last year running a boat car after Coons. And
Yep.
I do wonder, I mean, obviously there's a lot of competition there between the teams. If we'll start seeing, not as many cars maybe with Coons, even this year, I think we talked about there's not quite as many as their top year when it had like 15 cars in it. Maybe it just got too big, or maybe they can't fill the seats or don't want to put guys in some of their equipment because they tear it up for whatever reason. But it is kind of interesting to see how that's going to play out too. I mean, you're starting to see some big names that went to Chad Boat. And now you've got Christopher Bell. He's doing his own thing. And that's kind of a funny looking car. I don't know if you looked at when we get off, you have to look at the cage on there.
Yeah, I did.
Upright.
I noticed it right away. Yeah. And I can't imagine. I mean, Christopher Bell's got the money to build his own car and do it, but you got to imagine that he's getting help from one of them. Like he didn't go into his shop and in his house and just build it. Like he had Keith or had Chad build it for him, and
somebody
he did
like
everything.
that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's cool. I like disparity. That's the freaking word I'm looking for.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. There we go. Okay, I like the disparity as well, outside of motors, but like when you have call it an underdog or a self-funded team, kind of like a Tanner Thorson, right? Like obviously the sprint car stuff, he's now on kind of a team, and he's done better as a result. But like taking those kind of guys that just come in there like a T-Mez or something like that and just coming in there and winning, I like to see that. So, great.
And it is funny.
throwing sliders, love that.
Like, I don't know, NASCAR, we just saw that announced. So you're starting to see some of this come back. I think we've talked about it all year with racing picking up, like Dodge is coming back to NASCAR. And obviously the dirt track growing. I think you're going to see some investment from some of these manufacturers or even one-offs, like full custom billet blocks. And, it's definitely getting crazy. I'm surprised that the Honda hasn't done better. Because I know they said they were able to make massive horsepower, just holding them together. And slowly but surely you're starting to see some of that. So it'll be interesting this next couple of years.
Well, I think to your point, which is a great point, I think, because we see all these NASCAR drivers that was either their roots before they got into the big leagues or they're starting to dip down. Corey Day, Larson, Bell, Ty Gibbs, like list goes on and on. And obviously it's predominantly ran by Toyota and TRD, right? So you would think Ford or a Chevrolet in the Cup Series would be like, hey, let's throw a couple million into, sprint cars or midget racing so we can get our driver. Like Kyle Busch is a great example. Obviously, he's not a dirt racer, but he's given it everything he can. He's there at the Chili Bowl. I don't have a clue how he's done. Obviously, probably not great, but he's running a TRD. So when you see a guy with a Chevy bow tie on his fire suit hopping into a Toyota power car, the logistics and the visuals just don't make sense. So to me, if I were Chevrolet or Ford, I would say, hey, let's dump some money because obviously Toyota's having a lot of success and they can brand it in all their commercials. You see a midget, a sprint car, a drift car, a NASCAR, all that stuff. And Chevrolet commercials, or Ford, like you don't see that. So I think it's a great marketing tool, and I think it would help dirt, like because we all pick sides, right? Like I'm a Chevy guy, Blair's a Chevy guy, like, but you have your loyalty to your brand and your driver. Like I'm not going to say, oh, I love Denny Hamlin in general, but like, even if I did, I would probably like, I like him, but damn, he drives a Toyota. I don't like Toyota. So like, it does matter. And like, it matters on Monday, the old adage, race on Sunday, buy on Monday. Like, I'm not going to go to the dealership and buy a Ford or a Toyota or whatever. I'm going to go buy a Chevrolet, and the people that, are opposite, it matters. And I just think that it's a good opportunity for Chevrolet or Ford to get into not just NASCAR, but because this is, as we've said a million times, dirt racing is only going like this on the trajectory.
Yeah. Well, and it is weird because Ford has tried to do it. I mean, Donnie Schatz was running the Ford. You even saw that last race that we were talking about at Kokomo with Peck. He was, I think, the last guy on the at high limit at that time running Ford. And honestly, I would love to run one, but for one, there's that cost barrier. It's just cheaper to run the Chevy stuff. I mean, nothing's stock Chevy. Like my motor doesn't have a stock Chevy piece in it.
Right.
or anything like, you know what I mean? There's nothing like that. But to see some of these manufacturers try different things. I mean, TRD with Buddy Kofoid and Roth Motorsports and all those in the sprint cars. I mean, those motors make big horsepower. So it's like, why is it just Toyota and Chevy there? And same in the dirt side. I just think that's odd, but there has to be a way for them to figure it out. And that's like sprint cars. I'd say 98 to 99% of sprint cars now are all Chevy stuff or based off Chevy. And even the LS series, which we'll talk about as the season goes on. I think there's probably room for that. It's just like another series, or do you get rid of 305s?
Yeah, I think that Chevrolet started to see the fruits of what it could do for their totality of their entire organization from a racing standpoint. Because, I mean, TRD's everywhere, man. They have done such a phenomenal job of dipping their toes in anything and everything, and their marketing, their commercials. I mean, if you were because it's all about getting the younger generation into racing. If you were a younger generation teenager watching a NASCAR event or a dirt racing, or, seeing these commercials like Chevrolet and Ford, it's like, what the hell? And Toyota's like blowing it out of the water. So anyway, if Chevrolet or Ford are watching this show, which I guarantee they're not, we have $1 million idea for you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is funny. Just I don't know, it's different, but obviously what we can all celebrate this, that electric cars, they have cut back. I listened to the market reports. And so the internal combustion engine, especially in the racing, is not going anywhere, fellas. So we can all be super happy. It's going to be loud as shit at racetracks for a long time to come. So go ahead and just put your money back there. Quit trying to make bullshit. We don't need batteries in race cars right now. And I will die on that hill. I don't even have a problem with electric cars.
That's what puts food on my table is I build battery energy storage sites, but I don't build electric cars. So I get it. I won't buy one.
Yeah. I mean, and it's fine for practical uses outside of the racing, but the race car stuff is.
Yeah. You can't. No, I don't even I'm sure the F1 electric series, whatever the hell that's called, great for them. I know NASCAR was trying to dip their toes in it, but I think they should worry about not calling people stupid rednecks on texting conversations. Anyways, gotta love that lawsuit over the winter. That was fun to watch.
Did you see the Tanner Thorson, Sammy Swindell deal?
Mm-mm.
So I don't know, this is just for maybe everybody I'm sure watching this knows, but I just wanted to say, maybe put it out to everybody watching too. Who do you think would win in a fight, Sammy or Tanner Thorson? I thought that was kind of an interesting combo. Tanner made the comment after a race, and it was like he got a wheel under Sammy, and I happen to like both those guys. And but Tanner got a wheel under him. I didn't see anything egregious on Sammy's part. He was a lap down, but he even said in his interview, he's like, I didn't know who it was. I was running my line. I wasn't trying to hold anybody up. And Tanner made the comment, which granted they said sticking a mic in somebody's face right after they're pissed off, but he said, you're too old. He said, there's guys here that are too old to run this show. And then of course they have to go ask Sammy about it. And Sammy says, well, we can take this shit outside. So it's just some wild times there. But if anybody wondered, I don't know. I actually don't know who would win that fight. So I don't know how big Tanner is or how many fights.
Big. When I got his picture with him in Fort Worth, he's not very big, but neither Sammy. I mean, but
Sammy's older, but I just thought it was interesting.
You got youth and speed on Tanner, but you got experience and a lot more fights under your belt with Sammy. I assure you. I'll
say Sammy's a tough son of a bitch. That hit he took the other night when it ripped the rear end or the axle out and tore the right rear off. I'm like, for him to get out, he's taking some licks. I thought that was kind of cool. So I do like both those guys.
He took was gnarly. So like you said at the beginning of the show, some of the tumbles we've seen this year when the suspension is blown off of it, when it's flying through the air, you're like, ooh, that landing's going to be great.
Mm-hmm. So, I know. Yeah. That's another thing we'll have to talk about on the podcast. I'm still torn on it about putting the seat systems in. And I haven't seen a ton of them in the midgets. I know they've got the monkey bar system and the chasm system, but man, with the hit these guys take a lot of time, even though it's such a short track, I'm sure guys are sore and stuff, but I haven't seen or heard reported major injuries. And that's always good to see. But yeah, I'm not sure. I've kind of been on the fence about putting like the chasm system in my car or the monkey bars, because that hit I told you in Gillette, probably one of the, I mean, it wasn't a egregious wreck or anything. I mean, but if you look at the frame, it's like that was still hard hit. And I was kind of worried my back was jacked up or broke or something when I was sitting down at the bottom of the hill. And so that'll be interesting to see if Barry says he'll beat them both up.
Yeah, I saw that.
If we start seeing more of those systems, or if they're effective, I've heard a lot of different things and still kind of waiting.
Because how much does a chasm cost? I know
they're only, I think both systems are like $1,500, and there's two different types of chasms you can get. There's like a bolt-in one, so I'm sure like for a guy like me, who if you're changing seats, and then you can also weld in the system, so then you got chassis work. So I imagine probably all in, you'd probably be about $2,500 for a chasm, to where the monkey bar system with the spring rubbers basically underneath is probably about $1,500 still, but it is interchangeable. But the only thing I heard them talking about with Ultra Shield seats is that they recorded. Now you're seeing data loggers in midget sprint cars and stuff for the crashes, and some of these guys hitting the walls were over 80 G's.
God bless.
Like at Eldora and places like that, and that's actually stretching these
Tyler
seats.
Courtney.
Yeah. I mean, so you think a hit like that, and how far the seat can actually move, and then your belts, if they get loose, and then they denied that seat with the belts attached to it. So I don't know. It's kind of tricky. I think I'll probably have a pour-in mold in my seat this year. Have to get a new one. But yeah, I mean, and I run that SAM foam.
Make sure you leave an extra couple inches for your Starbucks habit.
I really haven't been there since we quit podcasting. But
good for you.
Yeah, no, I bought an espresso machine. It takes me 8 minutes in the morning to whip up my coffee. But yeah, anyway, something kind of curious maybe to look for on the back of these cars. I see a lot of sprint car guys running them, but then I heard them talking about I was like 80 G's. And you know what? I know Brian Gossel's hit had to be somewhere up there at Dodge City.
Geez Louise.
Him and I both talked about putting those systems in. And
yeah, I don't think a seat system would have helped him in that instance.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, it's really just for that slamming down on a bare chassis, kind of like Sammy when the suspension's gone and they just bottom out. I mean, even I thought it was pretty cool. I don't know if you watched it with Chase Johnson about the wreck that changed his life when it broke his back. You'll have to check it out. It's pretty informative. I mean, that kid doesn't hold anything back on it and shows all his injury, even the video when it happened. And I was like, man, it just made your heart sink for him when my legs aren't working. And but kind of something to follow along. We'll do a little research on, see what guys are running them, and it's kind of interesting with the data logging and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think obviously we haven't got a handle on head injuries and concussions and stuff like that, but I think it's a good sector that, hey, the brain is not the only thing getting absolutely wrecked. It's your spine, it's things like that. So I am grateful for whoever kind of started to put those gauges and not barometer, but some type of meter in there to measure, so we can try to keep these guys safe and racing for longer. Even not even national but local. I mean, if you were to break your back, I mean, you got to think about your work, you got to think about your life. Like, not that professional drivers don't either, but if you can't work, you're screwed. So
it's interesting, but we'll do a little more research on it and dive into it in the pod. But it's something I've been thinking about. So far I've kind of after Ultra Shield, he was talking about him, and I'm blanking on the name, but and he's personally been involved, in the some wrecks where people have died, and but yeah, slamming down on these cars, it's just good to see guys not getting seriously injured so far. So knock on wood for them. But damn,
yeah, absolutely. All right, well, I think that was all the Chili Bowl notes we had. We did want to talk about. I think that was.
They've got an overall flip count poll going up.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. So
78, 81.
I would say, what are they at? What are they at on flip count? I don't know. I lost
I'll
it.
buy Mountain Ops supplement for them. Okay. Yeah, what are they at? Give us we need to know
and then I'll obviously nail the number dead on.
Yeah, of course.
I know the Tulsa shootout, I think, was 179, 171 or something.
Yeah,
but obviously got 1,000 cars there.
Right. Yeah. If we can get a number, we'll definitely give you guys our take on that. We wanted to kind of touch on BST promotions, special announcement. World of Outlaws coming to, was it the 18th? Pulling up a calendar. September 18th. Is it Friday? Is it a Friday?
It's a Monday. Yeah.
Oh, it's a Monday. So it'd be the 21st. Okay.
Yeah.
Either way. September 18th, 19th, 20th, or 21st, the World of Outlaws will be returning to El Paso County. And I think that's the first time in what do you say? 2
Since
decades? Something like
2016? No, since 2016.
1 decade. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's
Okay.
already been 10 years.
I know. Like, what the hell,
I'm
dude?
getting old.
Yeah.
Wow.
So a decade that the World of Outlaws have not been there. So certainly it would be a cool one. Blair and I have already talked about it, and certainly circling that one on the calendar. So I think tickets are available now from what Joe said on the post. So if
Mhm.
you're looking to go to that, certainly I'm sure seating is going to be limited. I'm hoping I can sneak my way into the pits and Joe won't notice, so I can get in there and watch. But yeah, that'll be fun. Obviously a lot of things can happen between now and then to see who's gonna come, but I would imagine all your at least top
Full-time guys.
15 in
Mhm.
points are going to be there. So
I bet we have 40. I bet you there's 40 cars there, 35 maybe. So.
Yeah. So and if the ACS national tour last year was any indication, it'll be a good show. I would recommend bringing some goggles, because holy shit, that place got freaking out of control in the A main. I was like, I told Blair, I'm glad you're kind of not out there. Obviously, I wish he was out there during the circumstances that night, but I don't know how you see if you're third on back. So shout out to them. But
well. Yeah, I don't know if anybody has a 410. I'd like to run it, and we've kind of contemplated, but with the 360, Callahan's probably the only place you could get away with it if you were dead nuts nailed. And if it slicks off, it's definitely possible. I just, if it stays pretty heavy, especially that time of year like it was, you're bringing a 22 to a 45 fight. So, it's like you show up and then don't make the show or something with the 360 versus all the 410s. But man, if it goes slick, but yeah, if somebody has a 410 out there, they want to loan me or rent me, we might try it. So I'm still debating whether the 360 just kind of has it up in the air,
Yeah.
But,
well, yeah, it'll be fun. We'll see what happens, but we'll definitely try to make that one, regardless if Blair's entering or not, and have something to talk about on the following podcast after that. So obviously that's like forever and a day away, it seems like, and it's actually at the end of the racing season, which we don't even want to talk about yet because we haven't even started. So I was talking to Blair earlier in the show, Gossel's interview with ACS at the Chili Bowl. It's crazy to think they're already starting in a couple of weeks at is Volusia their opener?
Yes. Yeah, okay. Volusia, Florida.
It's freaking crazy, man. We're not even into February and they're already sprint car racing. So
yeah, I think it's the first week of February that they start running 360s, and then the 410s are the week after. So the fastest track on this tour till Belleville. Now that's also something we'll be covering, and they'll be absolutely screaming around that place in Kansas. So that should be the fastest track on the circuit now.
Yeah, no doubt. So it looks like, according to your wife, 37.
Okay, as of 3 hours ago from the last post.
So now it's up to 40 something.
Yeah.
Shoot, I'll let you go first, Blair, since you got the lucky number to draw.
I'm going to say 70, 71 total.
So we got a whole day of freaking. It's a good pick. I don't want to say in the 60s because I think you're going to see that before the freaking E-main tomorrow. I guess I'll go in the 80s. Give me 84. 84 flips.
Yeah.
So we got.
We could both be way short if it's normally day, or they could keep them. The tracks, it's really going to depend on the guys, how they're doing in the tracks. So
yeah.
Be interesting.
Yeah. Got all kinds of bets going on here.
Coming in. Yeah. So Sammy.
Last you saw
stuff up.
Last Bremkamp saw was 53. So who knows? But
well, Tara,
so your pick might suck.
Me again. Yeah. She told us a low number and then picked 82.
right. Yeah. So
we picked now. Oh, well.
Yeah, there we go. Well, I think that's all we had on the agenda tonight. Did I miss anything, Blair?
No, I don't think so. So, Hoosier, I don't know if you saw this. So Hamilton Motorsports, we still going to put the commercials together and everything. They're actually at the Chili Bowl. I talked to Sam and Mark and them were out there. Yeah. And so they're coming on board, but she did make a post. So if you guys haven't seen it, Hoosier Tire pricing is going up. So make sure they still have a bunch in stock. I talked to her. They've got sprint car, midget, mods. They've got them all. So the Hoosier stuff, buy it out at that price because in February, guess what? Right rears are definitely going up for sprint cars and midgets and all those classes, I'm sure. So I know Lightning Sprints are all on those same tires. So if you're getting your tires from Hamilton Motorsports, which I know most everybody up north is, you better get them now and before they sell out, because you're going to get a nice price increase. And I don't know exactly what it is yet, but you can imagine it'll probably be in that somewhere 5%, and maybe another $10 a right rear or something like that. But
call now and use code TS podcast to get 10% off each tire.
Fired. But yeah, so I know right rears around the country. I think the average price for the sprint car was like $345 last year. So any percent increase on those is yeah, we
need to see the percentage go the other way, right?
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Yeah,
get in the tire business and make them $50 cheaper. Yeah. Shout out to Hamilton. We're looking forward to talking with Sam and Mark about everything upcoming.
That'll probably be our next. We know we've got midget coverage. We're going to do midgets here for a while. So a lot of stuff, if you guys haven't heard, going on in the midget world around this area. So with our MMRA and Mark and them. So we get him on. We'll talk about it. And it's going to be pretty exciting, I think. So.
Yeah. And be on the lookout on our Facebook page and Instagram page. For that special announcement. We're going to try to line up another episode here in the coming weeks with some special news. It's not really news at this point, but want to give the platform to announce what they're going to announce. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, thank you all for hopping on tonight. I know it's been a while, but hopefully you enjoyed hearing our voices again and seeing us and collaborating with us in the comments. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you guys on, I guess, Friday nights, usually Monday nights. But so hope you all enjoy the Chili Bowl tomorrow. We'll certainly be watching, and you can root for Team Cooper, Team Hall on the picks, and maybe we'll post them in the comments after we're done, just so everybody's certain on who we chose, and we can root against each other there. But yeah, thanks for hopping on, Blair. Pleasure as always, and we'll do it again in a couple weeks.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, everybody. And see you guys in a couple weeks. Enjoy the Chili Bowl. And until next time, keep throwing those sliders.
This was another production of Scrubbin' Tires Media. The Throwin' Sliders podcast is hosted by Blair Cooper and Brandon Hall. Video and audio was created by Bryce Holcomb. Please like, share, and leave a 5-star review. And as always, keep throwing those sliders.